just like that, Venom gets away again. Where are they going? M.A.S.K celebrating. Look, they're all having fun. Hey, what's that little bastard doing here? Get out of here. Get! That's what you get. How about this for a Venom hideout? Maybe try a little harder. Ooh, very mid-80s, but I don't think this will work for them either. Now this will definitely work. Exactly. It's kind of perplexing if you think about it. Most bad guys had a place to hide out, but Venom didn't. Even in the cartoon, they bounced around from place to place, so it wasn't really a place to call home. And it was always something missing in my mind, especially for play value. So, jokingly, in the beginning, I had, a zoo set and Ewok village, but those were things that my brother and my cousins and I probably would have used when we first got the M.A.S.K toys. And then enter Outlaw. Outlaw was introduced in 1986, came out in Series 2, and it was probably more of an answer to Rhino, but I always consider it more of an answer to a base. Mobile, but still a base. And mine's got a little dust, so I'm sorry. There you go. Here's Outlaw. Alright. We'll get to the insides and everything in a minute. Came with two figures. You had Nash Gory with his Powerhouse mask, and Miles Mayhem with his Python mask. And there were some accessories that came with it. Most notably, you would get these missiles here. They're great for firing at your little brother. It came with two, so I guess if you lost one, you still had the other one to go with. I don't have all the parts. I'm going to superimpose them on the screen here as I talk about them. And there were some satellite parts that came with it that you'll see right here. I'm holding in my hands. And there was a little cube, which I'm holding right here in my hand. And this red hose would attach to the cube, and I guess it kind of acted as like a battery or something like that. And then mine's missing a part, but there's on here there's a radar-y spinny thing on it too. So those are essentially the parts that came with it. The vehicle itself is large in size. You can see it here. And one of the things that talk about one of the drawbacks initially was getting the figures inside of the cab. So let's see if I can get a flashlight going in here for you, just to help show it a little bit better. So if you're looking in here, you can kind of see how tight it is. The tow winch, which we'll get to in a little bit, it kind of makes it hard to get the figure in there. So I'm not going to do it now because I'm not going to get them in, but it's just a very tight squeeze. That's one of the drawbacks of it. Let's open it up. Alright, we got the missile ready to fire. And then the front opens up too. There's a tab that pops this up, and then it's supposed to flip this down, but mine's broken, so I have to pull it down. Don't do that if you're not sure that it won't break. So here you can see the grappling hook. You can see that now it's folded down, and if we could turn it over on this side here, you push this out here and it turns into a little computer station. If you look up here, there's like a spot for text to be standing and working on things, and of course you have the missile. The missile has pretty good range. I'm going to see if I can turn it and fire it, see if you can see it. Well, I don't know if you did or not. But I've hit myself in the face with this thing quite a few times, and it hurts. And like I said, Venom had nowhere to go. I always consider this to be one of them. If not the only place where Venom could go if you are talking about the M.A.S.K line, unless you were just pure evil and had M.A.S.K take over Boulder Hill and then kicked everybody out, but pretty sure none of us ever did that. So, mobile base. Is it what we always wanted? Not necessarily, but overall, you'd be pretty happy with it. The design of it's great. It's all, let's flip it down here. Everything in here is metal. All the parts that connect it. So this is actually one of the better built vehicles out of the entire line. And you'll see a lot of these pretty well intact. The parts you'll see that break off the most are here. This part, just because the mechanics in it are a little hard, as you saw, to open. So sometimes it will break. So keep that in mind. The grappling hook works pretty well still. Let's see if I can fire that off. Well, I have it wrapped, so, but it still works fine. And it's on this little tow rope here, and you can kind of twirl it back up. Would I love to have, you know, Legion of Doom headquarters, like, for these guys? Sure, I would have loved it. But we didn't get it. Now, you have to think, was it because it wasn't as prevalent in the show, you didn't have it ever made. They were never in stationary position. So that's probably why. They were never written into that spot. It was never talked about in the storyboards, and it's never made it. And there are some other things that never made it to our, you know, toy shelves at the toy store. And that'll be another episode, but I just wish Venom had a place to call their own. Sad, really. I got T-Bob, though, twice. But if you don't have it in your collection, definitely get it. You're going to pay a little bit more than on the shipping cost because it's gigantic. If you can get it in a package, a bundled package, that's the best way to go. That way there you're also maximizing your intake by paying only $15 for multiple items. I always suggest that if you can do it. Definitely do that if you can. And, well, with that being said, may you find a home, Venom. May you find a home.